Hey guys, welcome to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Millie, and if you're my old subscriber, yeah, you are the MVP. So today's video, like I promised you guys, I already made a video about the difference between Denmark and Uganda. If you don't know me, I come from Uganda and I live in Denmark, and I've been living here for over 22 years. So I wanted to make part number 2 of the differences between Denmark and Uganda, the cultural differences. And this difference could actually be like of all Africa and even other countries like the US. But mostly it's about Uganda and Denmark. Alright, guys, I'm going to be looking at my notes. If you see me looking down, that's why. So, number 1, public passion. Being passionate in public is something we don't do in Uganda. I think some white people can do that, some Caucasians can do that on the streets in Uganda, and nobody will be giving, like, caring so much. People will of course stare, but if you are a black couple or you are a black and white couple, you cannot do the passionate thing in Uganda. People will look at you weirdly. People might even make some noise or shout at you. Whereas here in Denmark, people can be passionate in public. It's not a problem. All the young people, they can all be passionate in public. And I think even us, like black people, when we're here, we can also maybe be passionate in public. But for me, because I've not grown up doing this, I feel so uncomfortable doing it. First of all, I think like I already attract the eyes of people because I'm dark-skinned. People look extra, and then if I start being passionate in public, oh my goodness, no. So I don't like being passionate in public, and my boyfriend knows that. A little hand holding and all that, but this whole kissing and all that, no, we don't do that. Number 2, mourning of death. Like here in Denmark, I'm a nurse and I work in a hospital, and I realized like when somebody dies, people, like, you never hear them making noise or crying out loud. People, they mourn silently. But like in Uganda, when somebody dies, oh my goodness, if somebody dies, your neighbor, you'll hear people screaming, people are fainting, people like show their emotions outside their hearts, you know, like they cry out loud, like really people cry out loud when somebody has died. You can hear it. And another thing, like when the burial, people when are going to bury, like in Denmark, people, you go to the burial and then after that you just go home. Whereas in Uganda, at least in the old days, like people, they come and the person who has lost somebody, you are not left alone. People sometimes they stay there like 3 days. They make the fire place and they sit there around, tell stories and talk about the person who died. So when after the burial, you're not left alone, like as here in Denmark, after the burial, most of the time everybody goes back to their home and you're left alone. So I really love that about Ugandans. Like when you lose somebody, they're going to be there for you at least for some days. But maybe it has changed also because now everybody has their work. Even in the old days, people had work, but they did that. Correct me guys if you're from Uganda and you know how if it's still done the same way. So another thing is the spanking of the kids. I think I've said that in another story, in my other video. No spanking kids here in Denmark. You cannot spank kids here in Denmark. Whereas in Uganda, people spank their kids, and it's not nobody's gonna be reporting to the police, or unless you're beating the child and they're bleeding or something. But spanking and all that, you know, very normal in Uganda. No problem. People spank their children. Here in Denmark, you spank your child. Believe me, she might even go and report you to the school, and there is a risk of your child being taken away. So here in Denmark, don't come here and spank your child. Another thing is bragging about your achievements. I think I've said that in my other video also. I hope I'm not repeating myself. You cannot be bragging about your achievements. Danish people, they hate hearing you bragging about your achievement. They don't even care. You know, here in Denmark, people almost feel uncomfortable talking about their achievements. Like you can ask somebody, how much is your car? How much did you pay for your house? You can see it on people's eyes, like they're very uncomfortable. Whereas in Uganda, people, they like to. They will even tell you before you ask them. They'll tell you how much their house cost, how much their car cost, how much their watch they're wearing cost before you even ask them. Here in Denmark, people, they don't want to even tell. They'll think you're very weird if you're trying to. Of course, you can ask, I think, if people are close to you, but you cannot just be, no bragging. Danish people, they hate bragging. They don't care how much money you make, because here, like, there's not, you don't see that much of a difference between rich and poor. Yes, you see it, like the rich people, they're driving maybe a nice car and so on, but it's not such a big deal. Like you can see it, what is it called? You can see a minister riding a bicycle, whereas in Uganda, you will never see a minister riding a bicycle. They drive the most expensive cars, you know. So no bragging. Danes, they don't like bragging. And another thing is flagging. You know, here in Denmark, like for example, if I have a birthday, we flag, we put the flag out, you put the flag outside, the big flag outside. Most people have even these big flags at their house. So every time if somebody dies, they flag it half. If somebody has birthday, on weddings, they do the flagging here in Denmark. In Uganda, no, we don't flag. Flagging is only for politicians. If maybe the Queen is coming to visit Uganda, or something is happening at the parliament, that's where the flags belong. They don't belong in private homes. Whereas here in Denmark, we flag when there is any occasion. Such a good thing, you know. And the next thing is like smoking in public. No way in Denmark, in Uganda, going to, especially women, you will not see a lady during the daytime standing and smoking cigarettes. No, you won't see that. But here in Denmark, women, they just smoke anywhere, anytime, at work. When they have a break, the ones who are allowed to smoke at work, they go and smoke. I think in Uganda, in my country, they see it like, oh my God, like you're cheap, like you're not a lady, you know, if you smoke. Most of the girls who smoke, I think that these girls who sometimes are like together with white men, you know. I'm not judging, I'm with the white man also, but I think those kind of girls, and yes, I think there's other girls who are not with white men who smoke, but I think most of these girls are the ones who smoke, and you will only see them smoking, I think, in the night time when they're at the bar or something like that, not even at the restaurant. So here in Denmark, people smoke anywhere. Women, they can be just walking and smoking their cigarette. They don't even care about anything in the world. And I think another thing is the formalities. Here in Denmark, no formalities. You don't call your boss sir. You don't call your anybody sir, madam. No. Only the Queen, you have to call her something called D. You can never call her you, like you, something called D. I can't translate that in English. But apart from that, no. Everybody, we call each other our names. The funny thing, like in Uganda, like everybody who is older than you, you have to respect them and call them sir or madam, your teacher, sir or madam, everybody who is older than you, or we use our own local language. For example, if I have a friend and they have children, those children would automatically call me aunt or uncle, or they call they call maybe another man like uncle. They will never call a person by their name. Like I could not call my friend's mother by her name. Whereas here in Denmark, a child, when the parents are divorced and the father gets a wife or the mother gets a new man, they call them by the names. James, my mom's boyfriend James, they call them James. They don't call them, you know. No. In Uganda, I think if somebody is your stepdad, you call them dad. You know, if somebody is your stepmom, you call them mom. The sisters of your mother, I think you also call them mom. You know, like, so we have the respect. Everybody older than us, we can never call them by name. All right. And I think also something else I wanted to talk about is the dating approach. Like, at least when I was in Uganda, if a man liked you, they will let you know. They will let you know. They're not going to be beating around the bush. If you're in a bar, they're going to come and talk to you. Or they're going to come and tell the barman to bring a drink or something, you know. Whereas here in Denmark, like, the man is going to sit in a bar and look at you, like, maybe let's say we're in a disco, I've noticed that. You could be dancing and somebody's going to sit at the bar and look at you the whole night without saying anything, and then leave and go, you know. Somebody could like look at you like in the supermarket, and you can see like they will never approach you. Whereas here in Denmark, even black guys, when I meet black guys, they're like, hey sister, you know, they call you hey sister. I'm like, I'm not your sister. But they're not saying hey sister because they want to see you like a sister. They're trying to make a move on you, and then they'll go from hey sister then to hey, you want to be my, you know. So dating here in Denmark is so difficult compared to Uganda, and I think also because we are outside a lot, we are mingling a lot, so it makes it easier. But here it's so difficult because we're inside a lot, you know, we're not going out a lot, and so it's and Danish people, again, like I said, they're difficult to make friends with. How would they be easy to become friends with them? It's difficult to become friends with them, so it's going to make it also difficult to be dating them, you know. So dating is really, really difficult. Yes, and another thing I wanted to talk about, I think this is the last thing, it's about like one of the ladies in my village died, an older lady. She was almost 90, and then my boyfriend was asking, but where are they going to bury her? I said they bury her in the home where she lives. So in Uganda, like in our village where we come from, we never move. Like that house belongs to us. in generation and generation, you know, like when the older person dies, somebody takes over. So we still have these homes in Uganda. I think even in the city, most people, they stay in these places. We never move. Like here in Denmark, when you have like a home, it's like not really your home. So in Uganda, we when somebody dies, we take them back to the village and we bury them. So in the houses we have back in Uganda, maybe behind there's like a burial place. If you go there, you're going to find your father, your uncles, your aunt, your grandmother. They're all like buried there in that home where we stay. Whereas here in Denmark, everybody is buried at the church, at the graveyard at the church. And I think that's also in many countries, like even in the US. I don't know how it is in other countries, African countries, but in Uganda we bury behind our home. So like in front of your home, you have all your facilities, and this is where you come in the home. But then you have like we have big grounds, you know. So behind there is a burial, and that's where they bury the people. So that's also big difference between Denmark and Uganda, guys. There is more differences between Denmark and Uganda, and I can tell you more maybe about that next time. But until then, this is today's video. Thank you very much for watching. Like and share, and stay tuned. Subscribe for more videos. All right, take care, guys. Bye.